Welcome everyone to the 2020 Summer Recital for piano students, for guitar students, and voice students. We're so glad you're sitting in your living room waiting for your student to perform. You know, coronavirus has changed a lot of things in the way we do certain things. And I think, at least for music, it may have changed it for a positive spin. I'm super excited that each student has had the opportunity to work really hard on one piece, to perform it really well, and they get to play it for a camera. You know, it's a little less nerve-wracking to play for a camera than it is to play for a whole audience of people. But yet we have the blessing that we get to see it. A lot of people get to see his best foot forward. So today, that's what we're going to do. Before we begin our recital, I want to introduce all of the great performers, School of Piano and Music teachers. Our first teacher, I'm also a teacher. My name is Buddy Brents. If you don't already know me, I hope that I have the opportunity to meet you as a parent, I think I've met all of our students. My daughter is also a teacher here. Her name is Avery Brents, and she teaches piano. Noemi Castillo, she is a teacher here, and she also teaches piano and voice. Jackie Osborne, great guitar teacher, and if you haven't had the chance to meet her, I know you'll have the chance. She's actually recording us today, AJ. Sarah Ritchie, she is a great piano teacher. Shane Solomon, a guitar teacher, and Young Sun Yi is also one of our piano teachers. And so, with all of our teachers introduced, these will be the students of these teachers and your student. Big applause for our first performer today.
And today I'm going to be playing Nobody Knows the Trouble I'm In.
Learning an instrument is quite challenging, and you already know that because as your student goes home, they practice piano, guitar, they sing, and they're just really working hard at learning how to play, learning how to sing, learning how to perform. Tonight I'd like to describe, and some of you have heard me describe learning an instrument is like riding a railroad train on a track. And I want to describe learning as the track. One side, one rail of the track, we want to call this achievement. And one rail of the track, we want to call that public performance. Let me start with public performance. You know, one of the goals of being able to play the piano, guitar, or sing is to be able to share your music with others. So we focus a lot on giving students an opportunity to be able to perform and play for others, such as this recital. Throughout the year, we have somewhere around 7 opportunities for them to participate in festivals, recitals, different kinds of competitions. And so I hope that you will take advantage of each opportunity that comes your way. It's super important that we learn how to control our nerves, control ourselves when our fingers are so nervous whenever we're trying to perform for others. The second part of running a railroad is the second rail, and we call this achievement. And so in piano, voice, and guitar, there are various levels that we must cross. Level 1 through level 14 here at our school. There are approximately 22 different levels if you consider the levels based on the Texas Federation of Music. And that varies from different kinds of systems that we have, but that's the one that we follow. Tonight, you're going to hear your student play, and they're performing in a certain level. At the end of today's recital, we're going to have an award ceremony, and they're going to receive their accomplishment of whatever level they have finished this semester, such as many will have finished just level 1, or some will have finished level 1 and 2, some will get their level 3, and some, we even have one this week that's receiving their, or 2 that's receiving their level 8 medal. So it is super important that we learn to level up. We learn the skills necessary at each level, plus learn how to perform for others. Give lots of applause for our next performer. So lots of parents ask me, how can I help my student practice better? How can I help them grow as a musician better? So I want to give you 3 practice tips on how to practice. First, the first practice tip, I think that is the best of anything, is to establish a consistent practice time. Same day, same time, every day. You know, when school is finished, our schoolwork is done, oftentimes we say, well, great, now you're done, you can go and play, and there's not much of a planned schedule. But my dad always said that if he was going to put money into piano lessons or guitar or voice, for me it was piano lessons, then I want you to practice. And you have to do your schoolwork first, and then you must give at least an hour of practice every day. That was just part of the daily plan, Monday through Saturday. So I recommend a consistent time. And mom, dad, you know, just as you would hold your son or daughter accountable for their homework, be sure to hold them accountable for their practice time. That is super important. Second tip is what we call isolate and conquer. Now, if you hear your student starting at the beginning of the song and playing to the end of the song and just doing that over and over and over and over, then they haven't caught the concept of isolate and conquer. In my students, whenever I have one of my students, I often write just I, see in a little section. And that means that these couple of measures need to be repeated over and over and over at home until they can accomplish that and do it perfectly. Now, I kind of want to demonstrate that. That's why I'm kind of sitting here at the piano. What does isolate and conquer mean? And I'm just going to do the first 2 measures of this song. So this is it's a fairly beautiful but yet challenging song. It's a song by Joe Hisaishi, a Japanese composer, and it's in 3 sharps. And so most students would go, oh no, how do I manage that? Just start by doing the hard part over and over and over. And let's just say the hard part on this is the first 2 measures. I sat down and I began to play. Let's just say I've been playing and working on this song for a week, but I'm still struggling with these first 2 measures. And this is what it sounds like at first. Okay, so the music actually says to have a crescendo, and you probably noticed that I made some mistakes, some notes that were not correct. So don't move on. I shouldn't move on and keep practicing and play the next part until I can master this. So I'm going to play it several times. No. Almost, but there was no crescendo. So it gets a little better. The more you do it, the more you practice it, the better it gets. We call this isolate and conquer. Third tip, use recording technology. You know, now we've got a lot of students who are doing online from time to time. You know, we're probably going to be in this mode for another year until there's a vaccine. So, you know, using online classes, it's not the easiest way to have a lesson, and it's not the most productive way to have a lesson. In person by far is much more productive, but if that is our option, if that's our only option at certain times, use the technology that allows us to make the most of it. What does that mean? Record yourself. Record your performance at the end of every day, and then go and compare it to what you're reading, and make sure that you're hearing and playing what's on the page. That often helps us catch our own mistakes. Welcome our next performer with big applause. musician is super challenging. You know, it actually has to be something that we want to do. Professional musicians say, we love to play our music, but we hate to practice. In many ways, that's so true. But at the same time, we love to learn our new pieces. So I have three other suggestions for parents and for students to help us become better musicians. And these are the kinds of things that have to come from within. First, whenever you practice, you've got to have good quality practice. If you're in level 1, level 2, we recommend that you practice for 30 minutes. And that quality practice means practice what's in your assignment book. And everybody gets an assignment book. Sometimes it's in the little blue book most of the time. Sometimes it's written somewhere else. But practice your assignment. And you know, that's something you have to say, I want to practice all of the other fun stuff. I love to just sit and play. But to make progress, practice what's in the book. If you're in level 3 or 4, then you're going to need to practice at least 45 minutes a day. If you're in levels 5 or 6, it's an hour a day, and level 7 and up, it is an hour and a half a day. You know, again, that is something that has to come from within, but at the same time, mom and dad, you're your student's cheerleader. You're the one that has to encourage them when they don't want to practice. Nobody likes to work, but mom and dad, you know the great benefit and payoff that comes with hard work. Second, third, and the last thing that I want to say is write on your music, students. Write on there things that are difficult. Circle the places that you need to isolate and conquer. Circle the wrong notes that you keep missing over and over. Put a flat in front of it if necessary. Only put the letter name of the note if you keep missing it, that one note. Don't put letter names on the whole page. Then you won't memorize the letter names of the staff. But write on there little tips that are going to help you learn your music. Let's give big applause for our next performer. Parents, you are your students' biggest cheerleader. Many of you have heard my testimony. I tell it at every recital. You know, my dad was my biggest cheerleader in music. I started taking piano lessons when I was I think I was 12 years old. I was in 6th grade. But by the time I was in the 10th grade, I had decided I'm in band, marching band, orchestra. I'm ready to be done with piano lessons. So I came to my dad and said, Dad, thank you for piano lessons, but I'm ready to quit. And I'll never forget, my dad in just one word, no. And my first response was, I'm like 14. I should get to decide. 15. I don't remember exactly what age I was. I should get to decide whether or not I want to take piano lessons or not. And my dad and mom said, we see talent in you, and we've paid money for lessons for several years now. We're not going to let you quit. I kept working at it, kept practicing through my high school years. And my high school senior year in December came around, and all my friends were trying to decide what to do with their life as your senior year. What school do you go to? What college do you go to? And it was that moment, and I said, I want to get a degree in music. And at that moment, I probably didn't realize, and even then I didn't realize how thankful I am to my dad for not letting me quit. You know, when we don't know what we want to do with our life, we think we have complete control over everything that's going to happen in the future. But you, moms, dads, you're the ones who are going to, if you encourage your student whenever they really want to quit, it could pay off with great dividends. I want to say, and this is not a promise that I can say to everyone, but because of music, I was able to get a full scholarship for 2 different colleges. Not a promise to everyone, but I am so thankful that my dad didn't let me quit. Moms, dads, hang in there. Students, hang in there. Don't give up just because you're tired. Big applause for our next performer.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright hot blue candles and warm mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite
So, what are some of the fall opportunities for our students to perform? In October, we have our Gold Cup Hymn Festival, and this will be for level 3 students and up. This is part of the Gold Cup system. I encourage you to be a part of that, to perform in the Gold Cup Hymn Festival, which is in the fall, and Gold Cup Classic, which is in the spring. These festivals have some great rewards to them. It's the district level that leads to the state level, and the state level actually has, in the advanced levels, have scholarships that are attached to it. October, Gold Cup Hymn Festival. Number 2, October, National Piano Guild. By October, all students who are in level 5 or up have to have made a decision and commitment to the National Piano Guild. Hard thing. You're going to see those who are participating in the National Piano Guild. It means that they have to learn 10 songs memorized and performed at the end of the school year in June or July. Third opportunity, November, is our Jazz Pop Festival. And this is for anyone. Level 1, Level 2, Level 3, Level 2, Level 3, Level 4. You have to be in at least Level 2 or above. And then our last opportunity for the fall semester is December pre-recorded Christmas recital. That's the plan for now. It will be we anticipate our Christmas recital being pre-recorded just like this one. Big applause for our next performer. In every recital, one of our goals are to feature our great teachers. We have excellent teachers at Great Performers School of Piano. And in this recital, two of our teachers are going to perform for you kind of a short piece. Shane Solomon, who teaches guitar for us, and he is going to perform, and then right after that, Miss Noemi Castillo will perform on piano. Hope you enjoy these teacher performances. Awards and trophies, medals, these are the things of great encouragement. Students work so hard for a festival, or they work really hard to make achievements and level up in their instrument. So this is the time when we want to give big encouragement, big applause for your students who have worked so hard this semester. Now, I do want to say this, just a little clause. Melanie and I work really, really hard at trying to make sure that we don't miss anybody or that we don't get the incorrect level. There's quite a few students who do so well, and we do make mistakes. So if we have made a mistake, you text us right away, and we will do our very best to make that correction and recognize your student for their achievement and their achievement. And achievement is our medals, our levels. I want to recognize all of those students who have leveled up from beginner level and have completed level 1. Big applause. And for those who are in level 2, those who have completed level 1 and completed level 2, big applause for these students. And the students who have completed level 3, that means the orange book if they're young, or level 3 in the green book. So those students who have completed level 1, level 2, and level 3, big applause. Level 5 begins intermediate level. And so these students are really working hard. Big applause for the students who have completed level 5. Level 6, right in the heart of the intermediate level, challenging. Big applause for the students who have completed level 6. And for the students who have completed level 8, oh, I'm so proud of them. You can be super proud of them. Big applause for these students. We want to recognize are those students who are performing, who have made application to the National Piano Guild. Actually, there's a second level. There's the State Piano Guild. Has made application to the State Piano Guild. Big applause. Second, I want to recognize those students who have made application to the National Piano Guild, and these students have learned and memorized, recorded, and sent in just last week 10 songs. So next we want to recognize those students who have worked really hard in a festival, some kind of performance. In the spring, our students participate in the Gold Cup Classic, or its Gold Cup District Level Festival. So this festival qualifies you to go to the state level. If you make a 5, the score levels are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 is the best. And if you make a 5, then that qualifies you to go to state. Additionally, at the Gold Cup District level, you can also, it's possible to receive a 5+ accommodation. That means that your score was in the 97, 98, 99, 100 level. Give big applause to these students. Finally, when you make a 5 or a 5+ at the district level Gold Cup, you get to go to state. We had several students who were anticipating driving to San Marcos, Texas and performing in person, but that was about the time of the coronavirus outbreak, and so all of their state performances were recorded and sent in. We have just gotten word, and even our students don't know who has made state yet. Give big applause for these students who made a 5 at state. So those students who make All-State, and last year we had 4 students out of our whole school who were considered All-State. That means that their performance was 100 or 100 plus. And these students were invited to go to All-State and perform at the All-State concert in August. Big applause for these students. We are so proud of you. So we are actually in summer break, and I want to just encourage you. Summer break is one of the best times to kind of learn some new songs that you want to learn. So don't just ignore your piano or your guitar or your voice. Do some fun stuff that you really enjoy. Also, lessons begin again on August the 10th. So hope to see all of you back in class the week of August the 10th. Just in case you didn't receive the July newsletter, it has a calendar in there of the whole semester's events. So if you didn't get that, please text Melanie right now, and many of you already have her on speed dial, and just say, hey Melanie, could you send to my email the GPS newsletter? I'd like to get that again. And then finally, this is the beginning of a new semester, and that means a new registration fee, but it also means that perhaps you want to change your day or your time. The sooner you can let us know if you need to change a day or time or something pertaining to your lesson, let us know right away so we can do our very best to accommodate that. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It has been a pleasure to be with you and your family. It's our pleasure at Great Performers. Melanie and I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to teach your children. We hope that you have a great summer break. We'll take 2 weeks off and we begin class August the 10th. So we will see y'all that week in just a couple of weeks. God bless you.